Hey everyone, it's your boy Anubis back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Today we're doing something different. On my Armed Dragon deck, I saw two people asking to see what the setup was for it. Um, Sorry I didn't get back sooner. For some reason YouTube didn't give me a notification about you commenting. It was weird. But as you can see, my other decks that are that I'm trying to put together. I just did my Steven Universe one, so if you want to go check that out. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, and quick side note, I know that my deck isn't the best setup for it, so no negativity like, oh, this deck sucks or anything. I will take constructive criticism like, oh, you should try this card out, blah, blah, blah. But, and if you like see anything you like or anything, just let me know. So first I have these. Oh yeah, I'm not going to go over how many of each I have in the deck because it shows it obviously here. But I just have this for survivability. If I brick, it's pretty high defense to summon out. It's just a normal one, so this can be changed to anything you like with nice effects or anything like that. Now, this guy, Shield Wing, really good card. Twice per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. I should make some more and put this one in the deck. It's really good for stalling them out so I can keep drawing. Next, we're straight into the Armored 3. Wow, armor words. Armed Dragon level 3. I used to call it Armor Dragon that when I was a kid, but anyways. So there's two different versions of this card. There's the Armed Dragon and then there's Armed Dragon Thunder. So I like the Thunder version better, but we'll get into that in a second. So first, this one's kind of troublesome because for it to level up to level 5, it needs to survive till the next standby phase. So, as soon as you put this out, everyone's like, "Oh, he's running this iconic deck. Let's stop this as soon as possible." So they get really aggressive once they realize what deck you're playing. Now, Thunder, on the other hand, I like this card better because you can instantly level it up as long as you have another monster card in your hand. So its effect is that you pick a monster card in your hand, send it to the graveyard, and then this levels up to a level 5. It also has another ability where if this card is in your hand and it goes into the graveyard from your hand by a dragon's effect, you draw a card. So that's really nice. Next, I have Gravekeeper's Guard. So this is to help me survive a little bit more. It's a flip monster where if it gets flipped, I can send one monster my opponent controls back to their hand. Next, we have Armed Dragon, the Armored Dragon. That's tongue twister. I should switch out two cards so I can add two more of these in there. Oh yeah, I want to give you a quick heads up. I made this deck before I realized you could actually like make cards to suit your deck. So I know now you can create cards, but beforehand this is my first deck and I got everything by luck by, the store. So just a quick heads up of why this kind of still looks a little pieced together. So anyways, this card, when it destroys another monster, you can special summon one level 5 or lower Wind Dragon from your deck, except for this card that you're using. But the thing is, I want to test out, because I know there's cards that allow you to attack twice if you attach it to them. I want to kind of try it out and see if I attack twice and destroy two monsters with this, if I get to summon twice or if it's once per turn type deal, because I feel like it would say once per turn. Oh yeah, and then the card you special summon from it, it can't attack directly this turn, so it would be really good for you to use it as a way to destroy multiple cards rather than destroy it and then try and attack life points. But if you have Thunder Dragon out, you can do a little sacrifice type deal, summon a high level dragon and it will be able to attack. Now we have Skullmeister. So this one is just for defense and maybe if I need to attack, but usually like it's I'm using it for its effect. And its effect, if an opponent activates a graveyard effect, I can send this card from my hand to the graveyard and I can negate that effect. Next, these two are just placement holders. These are the ones I was talking about removing so I can get Armed Dragon, the Armored Dragon. But these are just placement holders if you want to change it. Now we're to Armed Dragon level 5. Again, Thunder variation, regular one. So the regular one has the ability that I can pick one monster from my hand to the grave, then target one monster who attack is equal to or less than that and destroy it. And then the bad thing about these ones is that it has to destroy a card so that at the end of the turn it can level up to level 7. Thunder on otherwise, you can still do the same thing where you send one monster from your hand to the graveyard and then you can level this up to a level 7. And then if you use this one for, so if this one gets sent out your hand because of a dragon effect, you can add one level 5 or higher wind dragon monsters from your deck to your hand. Next we have regular armed dragon level 7. This one can't be normal summon or set, so you have to use a level 5 to special summon this one out. And then once you do, you can send one monster from your hand to the grave and destroy all monsters on the opponent's side with attack equal to or less than that one. So this one's just a beefed up version of his ability. But after this, these don't do any leveling up anymore, and we'll get back to why that is in a second. Ooh, words. Next we have Tenyi Spirit. So I use this one for more like defensive means. So if I don't control an effect monster, I can special summon this from my hand and put it in defense mode, and it's a nice little safe cushion of 2500 defense. It has a second effect that I really haven't used, but if you control a face-up non-effect monster, you can banish this card in your graveyard, in your hand or graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls, return it to their hand, and you can only use his effect once per turn. Next we have Armed Dragon Thunder. So level 7 version, my favorite version, well, like obviously my favorite style of Armed Dragon version. And this one is the same thing. You can send a monster from your hand to the graveyard and special summon at level 10, or you can actually summon, like, for all the Thunder ones, you can summon lower ones, so be careful what you click. And then on top of that, if this is same thing like before, if this goes from the hand to the graveyard through a dragon's effect, you can add one armed dragon card from your deck to your hand. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Armed dragon level 10. So this is my third favorite version of the level 10. So this one, it cannot be normal summon. You must special summon it by attributing one armed dragon level 7. So you have to have one armed dragon level 7. And you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. So, once you get this guy out, you can pretty much clear fields as long as they're not protected from effects. Oh yeah, another heads up, I almost forgot. The Armed Dragon Thunders, once they get on the field, their names change to Armed Dragons. So you'd be able to, if this is on the field, it would just be it would be named Armed Dragon level 7, so you would be able to sacrifice it for this. And then it counts as a special summon, so you can still normal summon. Next, this is my second favorite variation, and you'll see why. So if you have this card, you should always try to special summon it instead of normal summoning, because these higher level Thunder versions, you can sacrifice and, well, you can tribute and bring them out, but you want to try and special summon this guy if you can. And the reason why is because it has 5 effects and 4 of them are active straight from the beginning of when he comes out. The only way that really you can lose these effects is if their attacks get lower than this. So I'll go over that in a second. So its effect is that it goes off attack. So it has over 1 attack, its name becomes Armed Dragon level 10. If it has over 10 attack, control of it cannot be switched. Over 100 attack, cannot be destroyed by battle. Over 1000 attack, once per turn, this is a quick effect, by the way. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one other card on the field, destroy it, and if you do, the card gains 1000 attack. So that's where that comes into play for getting it to 10,000 attack and activating this last effect. And once per turn, you can destroy all other cards on the field as long as this card's attack is over 10,000. So it's really good abilities. If they're stalling you out, if they're stalling you out, it's better for you because if you get over the if you get over 10,000 attack, you can destroy everything and pretty much it's a game over. So stalling for this guy is not a thing unless they're paying attention. Now this is my favorite armed dragon. So armed dragon level 10. So the reason why is because while it cannot be normal set or summon, you can special summon it through its own effect by banishing armed dragons monsters from your field and or graveyard whose attack levels whose level total whose total levels sorry words who total level equals 10. So then I'm able to special summon it just by, so if they like ended up destroying my this, I can banish this and then I can bring this out straight from my hand. And of course it's a special summon, so it's pretty much I can still summon and do some other stuff. And then from that you can add one white veil from your deck to your hand, and then that's not even the end of its ability list. So you can only use the ability of Armed Dragon level 10 white once per turn, but you take no effect damage, and at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can destroy one card on the field. So I want to get a little bit more into that because I made a mistake with it before. So once you attack, you can destroy one other card on the field. Now, if you attack something with higher life points, higher attack points, you can use this effect, destroy that card, but that will still count as what you attacked. So you would much rather attack a lower level, lower attack monster, destroy it, use its effect, and destroy the other monster, unless they don't have any other monster on the field, obviously. Now we're getting into the spells and trap card versions of this. So this one is Smashing Grounds, destroy the one face up monster your opponent controls that has the highest defense. If it's a tie, it's your choice. Level up, I think every deck that goes around like monsters with levels, it should use this. So what it does is that you send one face up level monster you control to the graveyard, special summon one monster from your hand or deck that it lists in the sent monster text, ignoring its summon condition. So I usually use these for armed dragons since it's so hard to keep them alive. So pretty much on the field, use this, take it off the field, get a level 5. Alright, next is level modulation. This one's kind of like a safety net. It's a user beware type deal because activating it, your opponent draws 2 cards, but you can special summon 1 level monsters from your graveyard, ignoring summon conditions. The monster counts as a special summon, but it can't attack or use its effect for that turn. So you want to use like a combination of things. Like if I use this, I would try and bring back like a level 5, unless I still have a level 10 lurking in my hand somewhere. And then I would use level up, and then change it to like a level 7 and start just smacking people because it can attack. Next, I have Pot of Avarice. You know what I'm talking about. So target 5 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all 5 into the deck, then draw 2 cards. Next, we have Armed Dragon Blitz. This one's a really good card to have too. Target 1 Armed Dragon monster that you control. Take 1 monster with the same name from your grave or deck, and either add it to your hand or special summoning, ignoring its summon conditions. But this turn it can't attack directly. You can only activate 1 Armed Dragon Blitz per turn. And then you cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this card except dragon monsters. So if you're playing this deck, this bottom part doesn't even matter because you're more focused on armed dragons, so this is not even important. With this, when you summon a dragon, you want to use the one that you summon to attack like monsters, and then the other one that you have, that's the one that's going to attack life points. If not, I'm pretty sure with this one you can still use abilities. So like say you have this out and then you use this card, you can use its ability, send a monster from your hand to the graveyard, and then level it up to a level 7, and then you would be able to attack life points. So it's kind of messing around with what you want to summon and what cards you have in your hands type deal. Next we got Shard of Greed. I like this because it kind of makes your your opponent like decide whether they're gonna waste a card to destroy this or if they're gonna let you get 2 cards. Either way, it's like a win-win. So so for this one, once you activate it, it's at 0, and then the next turn you get a when you normally draw, you place 1 Greek counter on it. The next turn you place another one, and then you can activate it, draw 2 more cards. Pretty simple. Armed Dragon Lightning. This one's this is a must-have in this deck. If you're running an Armed Dragon Lightning, you you really have some plays to make, because this has like 3 different options you can do per turn. Well, not yeah, per turn basically. So the first one is if an Armed Dragon monster that you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can send this card to the grave instead and pretty much save your dragon. Its other 2 effects, you can only activate one of these effects per turn. So the first one is it gains attacks equal to its level times 100. So if I use this ability, say on a level 10 Armed Dragon, this Armed Dragon would gain 1,000 more attack. The thing is, it stacks, and if this card gets off the field, that attack stays. So now they're going to be in panic mode, because they're going to like, either I have to get rid of this dragon or get rid of that that spell card. And then either way, if they try to get rid of your dragon, which is the wrong move, you pretty much either they have to have something that's strong enough to destroy it, or they're going to try and use an effect, which again you can use this card to negate. Next, the second one is add 1 Armed Dragon monster with a equal or lower level than it from the graveyard to your hand. So this is how I start like grabbing cards back in my hand, so I can start doing some more crazy stuff and sacrificing and bringing out more high levels. You can only use this effect once per turn. So if you have multiple of these cards, you should only put down 1, because at that point it's gonna start clouding and blocking up your clouding. It's gonna be start crowding and blocking up your spell and trap places. I'm not sure if the effect that cancels like if the words if like it countering effects that destroys your monsters, if you can only use that once too. So it's something I will have to try out. Next, we got Mystical Space Typhoon. Target 1 spell trap on the field, destroy that target. Half Shut. This is a quick play spell, so I usually like to. I'll tell you how I use it after this. But target 1 face-up monster on the field. It cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. Its attack gets halved though until the end of the turn. So I use this with my Armed Dragon level 3. So what I do is bring it out. They decide that they were going to destroy it, so they can start block me from bringing out stronger dragons. I put this on it, and usually they don't have traps that like destroys monsters while it's just when you already summon it. It's usually like if they attack or if you summon, they destroy monsters. So me using this, that more than likely, unless they use an effect, my dragon's going to be safe and it's getting a level off. Next we have Armed Dragon Flash. Quick play spell. Special summon 1 level 3 Armed Dragon monsters from your deck in defense position. You can only activate 1 Armed Dragon Flash per turn. So usually when I use this, I try to get out my Armed Dragon Thunder, depending on when I play it. And if I do that, I usually use this effect right away and bring out a level 5. Alright. Kunai Change, classic one. Activate 1 or both of these effects. So let me explain that. So first of all, through it all, as long as you have a monster, it's going to continuously ask if you want to target 1 face-up monster you control, equip it with this card, so it gains 500 points, which isn't really that important. So usually I don't do it that way. Unless that 500 is actually going to kill the enemy, you probably don't want to waste it that way. What I do is I like to activate both. The second one, if a monster attacks me, I can change that target to defense position and then give a 500 bonus to my monster. Usually I do this with higher level monsters so that I can destroy it with like something weak, because usually a lot of people run like monsters that have high attack but no defense. So it's a really good like surprise for them. Next I have Dust Tornado. Target 1 spell trap your opponent controls, destroy that target. Then you can set 1 spell trap from your hand. I have better cards to destroy spells and traps now, so I really need to adjust this deck. I'm not even going to say the name of this card. I don't even know what it is. But what it does is target one face-up card on the field, discard one card, and if you do, banish that card. So once per chain, so whether it's yours or them, when this card is when a trap card is activated while this card's in the graveyard, you can special summon this card as a normal monster. So it becomes an aqua slash water level 2 with 1200 attack, 0 defense. This card is not treated as a trap, so like them trying to use like spells and trap cards that destroys trap cards, not gonna affect it. If it's summoned this way, this card is unaffected by effects, monster effects. Also banished if it also banish it when it leaves the field. Sorry, words. So pretty much, they're gonna have to fight this guy. They're gonna have to fight this guy. Usually, you can try and pull off like a crazy link summon with it or something crazy. So there's a lot of uses for it. Next, we have Armed Dragon Thunderbolt. This card, it has its ups and downs. I don't think you guys got to see me use it. So what it does is target one Armed Dragon monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack for each Armed Dragon monster in your graveyard with an equal or lower level than it, and with different names from each other. So that means that like if I have 3 Armed Dragons level 3 in the graveyard, these all are gonna only count as 1,000 points in towards your dragon's attack. But if I had like an Armed Dragon and then Armed Dragon Thunder, because usually the name goes back once it destroys. Why I say usually, the name goes back once it's destroyed. I'm pretty sure. So that would give me 2,000 extra attack. So it's really nice, but the downside of it is that for the rest of the turn, your opponent takes no battle damage from its attacks. So this is more for like destroying the cards with higher damage and stuff like that. It's not for destroying someone's life points. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Armed Dragon spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use one Armed Dragon Thunderbolt effect per turn, and only once that turn. So pretty much I can put an Armed Dragon Lightning back in my hand, or an Armed Dragon Flash back in my hand. Armed Dragon Blitz, I can put that back in my hand too. Next we have Negate Attack. When an opponent monster declares attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, then end the battle phase. So they don't get to fight your monster, so your monster stays good, doesn't get destroyed. No battle damage, obviously, either, and their battle phase ends. It's a pretty cool way to like stop them in their tracks. But I want to switch this out with what is it, Mirror Force? All right. Next we have Call of the Haunt. Activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target in attack position. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. So, what I like to do with these ones is I try to target Armed Dragon Thunder, so that I can level it up, and then this card is no longer tied to any monsters on the field. Because if this trap card gets destroyed with that monster on the field, that dragon is gone, going back to the graveyard. So I used it for a way to level up. Now if you use it this way, this card's going to stay in your trap / spell cards area. So remember that if you do this, you're sacrificing a place unless you have a way to destroy this off your own field. You're pretty much taking up a space, but usually, the pros outweigh the cons. Next, this is my high IQ play. So Gravity Binds, level 4 or higher monsters cannot attack. So what I do is when I use this, that usually means my back is against the walls and I'm trying to do something shady. So what I mean by that is that I try to use my Armed Dragon level 3s or Armed Dragon Thunder level 3, and I'm trying to use my Armed Dragon Lightning. So each turn I try to level up this dragon's attack by 300, because it gains attacks equal to its level times 100. So each turn I'm leveling it up as long as they have nothing they can do. In 5 turns I have about level 3 monster that has 2,700 attack, and there's not much you can do against that while this is on here. And again, if the turn goes longer, I can get this up higher. I can get it up higher, and there's going to be nothing they can do, and either they're going to try and destroy this, try try to destroy my monster, try to destroy my spell, or try to destroy my trap. And again, if they try to use an effect to destroy my monster, this spell protects them. So it's kind of an underhand, like last ditch effort. But if you try this, still try to build up your monsters on your side, because if this does get destroyed, you're back into the fight. Next, I have Escalation of the Monarchs. I haven't really gotten use of it yet. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it properly. That's why it's here. Once per turn during your opponent's main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can immediately after after this effect resolves, tribute summon one monster. So pretty much you have like this guy in your hand. This guy's out. You're trying to survive. You're trying to get it to level up, and they decide that they have time to attack it. You activate this, tribute this on their turn, summon this guy, and now unless they're strong enough, they're gonna probably back down. And then when it comes back to your turn, you already have a level 5 that you can do some stuff with. Next, we go into my extra deck. To be honest, I don't know why I have cards in my extra decks. Like these three, useless. Like they have no bearing in my card. Now this Great Fly, pretty important, but I never get around to summoning it because I never have enough lower dragons that I'm willing to sacrifice when I finally get set up. But this one, all it takes is 2 wind monsters. All armed dragons are wind monsters, if you didn't realize. And with this, all wind monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. But again, it's not just me; it's my enemy. So if they're running a wind, then they're getting an extra 500 attack too. Also, earth monsters on the field lose 400 attack, 400 defense. And then if this card is destroyed by battle or card effects, you can target one wind monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use the effect of Great Fly once per turn. So pretty much, if this gets destroyed, I can add a dragon back to my hand. And like what I would do with it is, if I had this in the graveyard, I would summon Great Fly, make it attack something higher, get it destroyed, bring my armed dragon level 10 white back in my hand, and then I would start banishing cards from my graveyard and bring it back in. So it's a long roundabout. This other one is just 2+ monsters, including a link monster. So I don't even think I have a link monster. So actually, this is completely useless too. So I only have one Great Fly, which I should put 3 in here and remove these other ones because they really don't fit the deck. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed my deck breakdown. If you have anything to add or anything, just put a comment down below. I hope that it would notify me this time, and I'll get back to it quicker. Hope you enjoy, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.